you said you were nervous, but you don't have to be nervous because it's not live. Or is it? Is it live?
That blinking red light.
Yeah, the blinking red light
is very much there.
But it's not live, I promise.
Yeah, I don't think it's live.
Yeah, I don't think it's live. Or is it uploading to YouTube right now as we speak? Welcome back to another episode of the All Luck, No Skill podcast. Before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you for watching and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Before we get started, I think you should still hit that like and subscribe button right now as we're waiting to get started. Please, I appreciate it. And let's get started today. We have Myra Hermoso. Thank you so much for coming in. Our second female guest on this podcast. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. Before we get started, maybe you want to plug or promote yourself. I don't know if you have social media.
So for my 27 followers on Instagram.
Nice.
Hi, guys.
What's your Instagram handle?
Myra's finally on Instagram.
Wow.
As of, I kid you not, 5 years ago.
Very original.
Yeah.
Really? You just kind of recently hopped on the...
Like 5 years ago.
Instagram train. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was slow on the social media stuff.
Do you post a lot or no?
No. I probably posted about Japan, my recent trip to Japan, for the first time in 2-3 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a creeper though. I'm there every day.
But you're on there. You're on there creeping.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so it's not like you don't use it.
No.
Your account looks a little unused, but you'd be using it to creep.
Not creep, just,
creep.
Peruse.
Yeah. Peruse, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so you went to Japan recently, huh?
I did.
Okay, we'll talk about that here in a second.
Yeah.
Tell us about, obviously my podcast is not typically car-centric, but we don't have anything in the background today, but what do you drive? What do you have?
I drive a very impressive Mazda CX-3.
CX-3.
Yeah,
and
sorry,
what year is it?
2023.
Oh,
So
brand
last year.
spanking new.
Yeah.
Wow. You like it?
It's nice. I mean, don't knock on it. Love it, though. I'm a Mazda girl.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us about what you do for a living.
I look for real estate for Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's, the chicken.
Raising Cane's, the chicken finger place.
And Cane's is named after the golden retriever.
Yeah.
Oh.
He named it, the founder still runs the company.
Yeah.
Super involved.
Oh, really?
Approves every single site that we present. So he has final say.
Yeah.
And the company is only 28 years old. So
it's kind of a newer company.
It's a newer company.
Oh.
Built it from ground up. And, he's still, what's impressive is, he is involved very much in every single aspect of it. Designing the store, he, loves that. That's, the fun part of,
Where did they start?
Louisiana.
Oh, okay. And that's where they expanded from.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they only recently came to the West Coast, in California where we are.
Yeah.
Right?
A
few years ago?
It is. I think I want to say 5 years ago is when we really made a big push to expand on the West Coast.
Okay.
And it's been great. The market in the West Coast has been great. A lot of the people will tell you that California, people are leaving, it's a dying state. There's so much money to be made in California.
Within commercial real estate, that's what people are scared of or saying?
Yeah, in general. Any actually
Gotcha.
market.
Oh, okay. So the owner named Raising Cane's after his golden retriever.
Yeah.
And it's Raising Cane's as in raising the dog named Cane.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
And it's obviously a chicken brand, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I heard, tell me if you can debunk this or tell me if this is true or not. My understanding is that Raising Cane's typically looks for a location close to or across the street or next to Chick-fil-A's. Is that true?
It kind of is and it's not. So we pick locations where everybody is.
Okay.
Not just Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out, Habit, Shake Shack. We pick locations where everybody is going to.
I see. So just to be a competitor right next door.
Yeah.
Because I don't
for
know.
everybody.
I mean, if you think about it, though, any new Raising Cane's that pops, because obviously you guys are just behind. I feel like the development of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A's have been popping up everywhere, and then it seems like any Chick-fil-A, if you look at a restaurant that is coming up new right next to it around that plaza or wherever, there's a Raising Cane's right next to a Chick-fil-A. I think any viewer out there, if you think about it, at least in the West Coast, the Raising Cane's is coming up right next to a Chick-fil-A, it seems like, or an In-N-Out.
Yeah, I'd say both In-N-Out and maybe Chick-fil-A, but the thing about it is Chick-fil-A has probably gotten maybe a 10-year head start from us.
Right.
So they would go into these pockets of, we call them like retail hub.
Okay.
Where you've got like maybe an intersection where there are 4 like centers
Right,
in that
gotcha.
intersection,
Right.
or a giant mall in there. And so they gravitate towards an area where a lot of people are visiting.
Gotcha.
And we also gravitate towards an area where people are visiting. So
it just kind of seems like you guys are building next to Chick-fil-A, but that's not your guys' motto.
what is happening is they're ahead of the market.
Gotcha. So you
And
guys
so
are tailing behind.
We're
and-
tailing behind.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you guys are just popping up right next to them wherever
Yeah.
you guys have a space for retail space.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
What, I think people can probably see the same thing about In-N-Out because they go there even before centers are built.
Mm-hmm.
And Chick-fil-A probably like goes right behind them. So probably 5 years ago, 7 years ago, people are probably saying the same exact thing about
Gotcha.
Chick-fil-A to In-N-Out.
Gotcha.
But it's the same thing.
What's your, just high level, what do you do for Raising Cane's? And how long have you worked there?
So I've been there for almost 2 years.
Okay.
I usually tell people that all I do is look at maps all day, figure out where we want to go. And it's like so data heavy driven. It's where the visits are coming from. And then I go find sites using my brokers, negotiate the deals, present it in front of a real estate committee and say, please, 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 this is the best location in the world. Believe me, somehow they believe me half the time. The other time I'll have to try better.
And then they'll either approve or decline a new Raising Cane's going up in this particular retail space.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And how quickly is Raising Cane's putting up stores?
Sometimes it takes up to 3 years from the time it gets approved.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that obviously is not just dependent on construction, but different types of approvals and things like that with the city or the county or whatever.
Yeah, because there are 2 parts, which is like the entitlement, which is can we even do a drive-through here? And those sometimes take like 18 months. And then
And you guys typically want a drive-through.
Yeah, I would say a majority of our sales come from drive-through. So
Oh, wow.
most of our locations are drive-throughs.
Gotcha.
And then the newer developments where they don't have Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out and, maybe other QSR brands or like drive-through, we have to compete for them. So in the Bay Area, Chick-fil-A isn't as, big as in Southern California. So I'm actually competing for sites with them, which is really fun.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you may be competing against this particular retail space with a Chick-fil-A
Yeah.
or an In-N-Out or something,
And like we just like keep upping.
depending on who gives the
the rent.
best deal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Wow.
It's the fun part of his job.
And where were you before Raising Cane's?
It's mostly like QSR food. So I was at Krispy Kreme at some point.
Oh, okay.
I was at Subway for a long period of time. And then every table for like a short stint. And I don't know if you know, Papa Murphy's, which is like a take and bake pizza concept.
Oh, wow.
That's mostly in like the Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you weren't always working in California?
I wasn't. Like for a short while, I was in North Carolina with Krispy Kreme.
Oh, because that's where they're based out of.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Did you
Yeah.
like that? Because you're a California girl, right?
I'm a California girl. It's a nice change of pace. I would not have liked it in my 20s, but I came there when I was in my 30s.
How long were you there for?
I was there for like 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
Like culture shock.
Oh, really?
They don't have accents. Like
What kind of accents?
any accent. Like Southern accent,
Yeah,
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 but
yeah.
like, immigrant accent, like
Yeah.
no Hispanic accent, no Indian accent. Like,
You're talking about the people that you would think would have accents. They just have a Southern accent.
yeah, for the
They may
most
look
part.
like they have, like they're immigrants, but they just speak perfect English with a Southern accent type of thing.
Yes and no. It's just it's not very diverse. So
Mm-hmm.
like it's jarring when I first got there, and all you hear are people with Southern accents.
Oh, I
And
see.
it's mostly black and white, right?
Gotcha.
And you don't really realize that in California, you hear all types of people
Right.
in different voices.
Right. Oh,
So that was the
interesting.
first noticeable thing
Interesting.
when I moved there.
Not a lot of Asians.
No.
Oh wow.
And then COVID happened. I was just like, no way am I getting out there.
Oh,
No, I'm
I
just
see.
kidding.
Wow. That's crazy. Wow. And you did all similar things like at Subway and Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
You did commercial real estate.
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
For
Okay.
Subway, I kind of like ventured into commercial real estate at
Mm-hmm.
the tail end. Before that, I was a business consultant. So I would go from like Subway to Subway, basically telling business owners who have run their store for like decades how to run their business.
Oh really?
Yeah, and think I was like in my early 20s. And so
So they didn't like that, huh? Coming
hard
in
knocks life of just like learning how to deal with people.
And so, what would you see most business owners doing incorrectly that you had to change up for Subway?
It's mostly policy.
Oh.
There are some that are like cleanliness. There are some that are like tunnel vision because maybe they don't see, you know, that their employees are like wasting food, or maybe, you know, they've been there for so long that they don't see the opportunity of a new high school that just opened up down the street that they could potentially market to.
Oh, I see.
So,
But so when you're sitting down with the owner of any Subway, you tell them, hey, there's some things aren't clean, or like they're, I don't know, like they don't wear
Yeah.
gloves during or something like
absolutely.
that. Oh,
Hey, you guys
interesting.
could get shut down. You better like throw that stuff
Wow.
away.
Oh, and then
Yeah.
I see, and they don't like hearing that from a 20-something-year-old girl that just came in from corporate.
Not at all.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
So that's, I see. So you learn a lot about people in that. Or
You learn a
learned
lot about people. You learn how to grow like thick skin too.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure
that's
they're-
like my first
Yeah.
glimpse at this is a male dominated industry
Oh, interesting.
that like you just kind of need to navigate it. So navigating real estate was just
Yeah.
seamless transition after
Right.
that.
So you don't meet too many females in your role in.
It's starting to change, but
Oh,
when I
really?
started, I want to say over 10 years ago,
Gotcha.
it was completely different. There weren't
Yeah.
a lot of like women in my industry.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of male dominated, did
Mm-hmm.
you ever meet Jared from Subway?
I did a
You
few
did?
times.
A few times?
Yeah.
Like outside of business hours?
Yeah.
You really?
Yeah. Well, not outside of business hours. Good Lord. I mean, even if I did, like, I'm not his type. I'm just saying.
Oh, right. You're too old.
I'm just kidding.
You're too old.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Did you? Okay, so he just showed up to like Subway conferences and stuff.
Yeah,
or-
there are like yearly Subway conventions, and he
Uh-huh.
would just there take pictures
Oh.
for hundreds of people.
Oh, really? And
Yeah.
people were just like, oh, Jared, you lost all this weight. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Smile just shoves you down. Next. Smile shoves you down. Next.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, and he probably got paid tens of thousands for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Just as being like on the commercials and
Yeah.
showing up to these things.
Yeah.
He was, but as he was fine, like just like a normal person when you met him.
He was a normal person. I mean, looking back, it's kind of like, yeah, I knew he was a creep, but like in reality, I
Oh,
don't
right.
think I did.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just really excited that I
Right.
saw saw Jared.
Kind of a celebrity, kind of
Yeah.
not like a Subway celebrity.
Yeah.
That's funny. Crazy. Man. Okay. Tell me a little bit about your childhood, your upbringing, where are you from, parents, siblings?
I've got two younger sisters, and I want to say upbringing. Like, I come from like a blue collar, middle class family.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say, my parents gave me not everything I wanted, but everything I needed.
Your parents are immigrants?
And parents are immigrants.
Okay.
Yeah, we come from when we got here, we were in like a 1-bedroom apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow both of them managed to get us to like a house and then managed to put 3 kids through college.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how much younger are your sisters?
I've got one that's 2 years younger than me, and then another one that's like 3 years younger.
Oh, okay. So you guys are pretty
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you guys kind of grew up all together, like
We
going through
did.
the same
Yeah.
puberty and whatever.
Puberty.
Boys,
Oh,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All that.
Did you said your parents came here with all three of you guys already born? Like you guys
Yeah,
weren't
with all
born here?
three of us. So I got here when I was like, what, 9-ish?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And all three of us, all five of us came in together. And like our first year, we shared a bedroom at my aunt's house. Our second year, we managed to get a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
The year after that, we managed to go into a 2-bedroom.
Wow.
And so it slowly progressed too.
Gotcha.
You know, we can afford more, but
Where did you guys come from?
Philippines.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Is it where in the Philippines?
Manila, I want to say.
What?
Like the northern region.
There's like thousands of Filipino dialects, right?
Yeah.
Do you speak?
No, like I speak Tagalog, which is like the main
The
one.
main one. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. And that's what your parents speak as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Are you still fluent? Because, I mean, 9, that's kind of...
I understand completely. When I talk, it's very slow and it's in like broken Tagalog.
I see.
Yeah.
Because you basically stopped practicing after you got here 10, 11 years
Yeah.
old.
What do
I
they
see.
say? If you can't, like, if you dream in like English, like, you're like fully fluent. Like, I don't know if I can even dream Tagalog at this
Oh,
point.
really? Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before. Really? If
Yeah.
you dream in English, you're fluent?
Yeah.
Or whatever language you dream in is your fluent language?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard of that before.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, but that kind of makes sense, obviously,
Yeah.
I guess.
Like, I bet you my parents dream in Tagalog.
Right. Your parents are still together?
Yeah.
Nice. What did they do when they got here?
My parents both like kind of started off like rough job wise. Like my mom used to work at Pick and Save, and then she eventually got a job as a
Damn,
nurse.
Pick and Save.
Pick and Save, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if people remember Pick and Save.
Clearly do. That's
It
my mom's
became,
first
It
job.
became Big Lots after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so she worked at Pick and Save. Okay.
My dad used to work like a construction job. And I want to say, I don't know if this is true. I might be getting it wrong, but like I think you can probably fashion it to like people just standing like on a corner waiting for a job to come in. And like he eventually worked his way to getting a job at Adelphia at the time, which became like Time Warner, and he was a cable guy
Oh,
for
wow.
years.
Like
until-
installing cable.
installing cables.
Oh, wow.
For
In people's
years.
homes?
Yeah, he did that for years until
crazy.
he like worked for the city of LA.
Oh,
Yeah,
good pension, huh? City of
amazing pension.
LA. Wow, that's crazy.
His hope and dream is to have us work for the city of LA
Oh,
for
really?
the
Is
pension.
that what it is? Wow.
My mom's is a nurse, so
Oh, your mom's a nurse?
or like her dream for us is to become a nurse, but like
But she after Pick and Save and everything, whatever, went to school, she became a nurse.
she became a nurse.
And
Yeah,
she became a nurse over here. It's not like she was a nurse in. Did you say you were from Manila? Manila, right?
yeah.
It's not like she came here as a nurse. She became a nurse when she got here.
She was a nurse.
Oh, okay.
Back then,
Okay.
or like in Philippines or in Saudi Arabia, I should say.
Saudi Arabia.
I was born in Saudi Arabia.
You were born in Saudi Arabia?
I was born. I thought you knew that.
Well, the viewers don't know that. But Loki, that slipped my mind. I forgot about that. I forgot you told me
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Were all your sisters born in Saudi Arabia too?
Just like me and my second sister, and that's where my parents met.
Hold on. So 2 Filipinos
Yeah.
met in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
Okay. What? Okay.
they have a Filipino community there.
I guess that kind of makes sense. Like that.
Yeah.
There's all types of people all around the world.
They do.
Okay.
So
Tell me
my-
about that. Tell me what you know about that.
So my dad at the time worked for the army. He didn't, he wasn't active. He just worked in their military
Okay.
communication.
Okay.
And my mom was a nurse
Okay.
then. And I think they have like a Filipino community where they can all like, just gather and talk and socialize. And so
Okay.
that's how they met.
Wow.
Yeah.
In Saudi Arabia.
In Saudi Arabia.
And this is like what? 70s, 80s?
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
It is crazy. What's even crazier is that like, I mean, like
Sorry,
I,
all you guys, 3 of you guys were born in Saudi Arabia?
just 2 of us.
Oh, okay.
The third one was born in
And at
Philippines.
some point, you guys moved to the Philippines, and then
Yeah.
from there, when you were like 9 or something, and they were probably what 7 and 6 or something,
Yeah.
moved to California.
Yeah.
What the heck? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, what's your citizenship look like?
Questionable.
Is it like if you were born in Saudi Arabia, are you, you know?
Yeah. So I'm a U.S. citizen,
Okay.
but I looked it up. We're like, none of me and my other sister are like Saudi Arabian citizen. I looked it up, and both parents actually have to be Saudi Arabian citizens.
Oh, gotcha.
And then you have to be born into two Saudi
Gotcha,
Arabian
gotcha.
citizens. And I think the king has essentially the power to grant you the citizenship
Of Saudi Arabia.
of Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
Do you know why your parents were there separately for whatever reason? Do you know why they were in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, it's because there weren't a lot of good jobs in Philippines.
Oh,
Yeah, that at least paid, that at least paid enough to support either your family or yourself.
right.
It's funny because like my dad applied for the job so that he can send money to his like family, his mom, dad,
Yeah.
everybody back home.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my mom signed up because it sounded like a fun adventure with her friends.
Okay.
So two different reasons.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. They were there for a few years.
They were there for like maybe 7 years,
Oh,
my
wow.
mom. And then my dad was there for, I want to say 10, 11 years.
Wow.
So there was like a part of my life where my mom took care of us and my dad was in Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
And we
I
would see him like once a year
Crazy.
for like 2-3 months.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Until he moved back permanently.
That's cool. And then
Yeah.
they're still together to this day.
They're still together to this day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's love, huh?
They are like, yeah. It's like such a weird thing to like talk about it with people because I guess not everybody has the same childhood where,
Right.
you see your parents and they're working as a true partnership. Mm-hmm. They still go out on dates every Tuesday.
Wow, really?
Movie matinee Tuesday, and then they go to Cheesecake Factory for lunch.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
And they're both retired now?
They're both retired.
That's
They're
so
like-
cool. That's crazy because,
Yeah.
you don't see that.
You don't.
And that's good to, I guess, to be able to see that when you're growing up too, because you know what
Yeah.
your version of true love looks like, even to this
Yeah.
day, they're still together, That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
They hold hands when they walk sometimes. You'll
Really?
catch it. Yeah, they really like each other.
That's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, like my dad.
That's like almost unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's kind of like my sisters and I are not married. We don't have kids. Like
They're probably waiting, huh? They're like, yo, what? Give me some grandkids.
they'll whisper to my aunt, my cousins. They're like, I really want to be a grandparent.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't say it to us though. Their
Right.
like thing is whatever makes you happy, sweetheart.
That's good though.
Yeah.
That's I think maybe that's the correct way to parent. Just
Yeah.
let, it's hard to pressure your kids into,
Yeah.
come on, let's go. Yeah.
They're not that. And like the thing is, if you like, I always joke around that they're the reason why we're all single. Like if you have that as an example, why would you want less?
Interesting. So you think you guys are, because you don't want to settle for less, you think that's why you guys are all still single, because you guys are looking for the perfect match.
It's not the perfect match. I think it's also like, I can't speak for my sisters, but for me, part of it too is like your partner is going to be the most important person that could shape your life, right? So why would you like not get it right?
Right.
Especially when you believe in marriage.
Right.
Yeah, and like the institution of it.
You believe in marriage.
Absolutely.
One and done. You don't believe in divorce. There's no such thing. Or do you think that, depending on the circumstances, like you should be, or is it like you should be getting it right the first time? There's no such thing as divorce. We're going to work through it.
I think you should get it right the first time, but I think that you never know. I mean, like,
Because there's always a second person, right? The second person is, they're, you don't know what's in their mind because they don't have the same upbringing as you. So maybe they
Yeah.
It all depends on what they think too. It's not just you, right?
Oh, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, as much as you go in hoping and thinking that this is going to be one way,
Right.
you don't really know until you give it a try.
Right.
So you can try and know everything, but I think to an extent, you can probably know enough to make a decision, but you just never really know until you actually do it.
Right. Right.
So I say I believe in one and done. I don't believe in divorce, but I could get married and then, later down the line could be divorced. And then you could ask me, what happened, Myra?
Right, right,
And I
right.
go,
Yeah.
oh.
I mean, that's life. Like, you can
Yeah.
never predict it. Do you think in divorce, women have it easier or men have it easier?
Depends if you have a kid or not.
Let's say there is kids or kid. There's a kid involved.
I think it's probably like every situation is different, but I do think in divorces, like especially if you're going to bear the responsibility of being the sole caretaker of the kid, of course it's going to be a lot harder
Right.
on the women.
Right. Right.
So I do think to an extent, and I think the court system tends to put the kid with the mom.
Typically, yeah.
Typically.
Unless they're like total deadbeats or drug addicts. Or something. Yeah, I
Exactly.
think typically, yeah.
Exactly. So there's like the weight and the responsibility of I got to make sure my kid is okay, but I'm also going through something super emotional,
Right. Right. Right.
during this divorce.
Do you think that, you tell me as a female, do you think that women that have single moms, do you think it's difficult for them to date after being married?
Yeah. I always wonder how they navigate through that because as a woman myself, like it's hard to navigate through dating. Now imagine having to not only date based off of your needs as a woman. Now you have to factor in what your kid needs because you're
Right.
letting him into
Right.
your child's life.
Right, that's true too.
And so you
you can only keep them apart for so long, right?
Yeah.
Depending on how close you get with the person you're dating.
Yeah.
And do you think that somehow society sees single moms as kind of like damaged goods,
Totally. 100%.
like depending on whatever trauma they went through in their previous relationship or whatever the case is?
100%.
Okay.
I think it's like so. I don't think we look at like single moms versus like maybe single dads in the same light.
Right.
Like if a dad has the full custody of their kid, taking care of them, we probably see them as like, he's such a great guy.
Right.
He's
and it's
taking care of
almost
his
like
kid.
the girl sees it like, oh, just add me, boom, instant family.
Yeah,
Type of thing.
exactly.
Okay.
Whereas-
But if it's a single mom and
Yeah.
then there's a guy that she's dating, you think that maybe she's viewed as broken.
Yeah, exactly. And I was
interesting.
just having a conversation with somebody about this, whereas, I think the question was if you have $1 million, would you, or like if you got pregnant and the guy gives you like $1 million, would you like keep the baby and then just shut up and never bother him ever again? And I was just like, what the hell is money gonna do if a kid grows up without a father?
Right, exactly.
So like it's like two people making a choice to not be together and still breaking up that house. And like back to your question where women are seen as like damaged goods. It's like it's kind of like, well, the guy left too. So like
Yeah.
where is the like hate on the guy who actually left because it takes two and he's not there. She
Right.
is.
Right. That's true. It's interesting too because I mean, obviously I don't know too much about it, but the law is also, for something like that, the law is also judges, right? And judges are human too, and
Yeah.
there's also biases in what they see too, I guess, right? So
Yeah.
that can be something that and then there's also child support, alimony,
Yeah.
like all these crazy things that sometimes I hear certain stories where like every week the dad or the mom, typically the dad, has to pay so much in child support.
Yeah.
And it's like, how is that person living? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
able to survive paying that much, you know what I mean? But I guess that's just life.
Yeah, and it's really sad because like I think both parties I like with part of the reason why like I get I like hold off so much with like social media is because you get so polarized. So like something as divorce, like you mentioned, there might be like a burden on a woman, but there's also like on the flip side, a burden to the man. So I don't think we have sometimes the capacity to give grace for the opposite sex when we both have things that we're going through look very different, right? But like we're both just not acknowledging it. And I
Right.
think the fact that we just acknowledge, yeah, you're right. The guy's probably struggling. He probably is like not making ends meet, and then on the other side, like she's probably struggling and like also crumbling because she has to take care of this kid on her own and she has no
Right.
support. So, yeah.
I mean, I guess at the end of the day, the person that suffers is the kid, right? The kid suffers, and it's sad
Oh,
because
totally.
I mean, every kid needs a father. I mean, both parents in their life.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Both
okay.
parents have to kind of live with that like
Right.
decision too. So, like to an extent of damaged goods, I just wish that we'd look at both like men and women in the same light, and that is like if you're gonna see a woman as damaged goods, you probably should see the dad as like like damaged goods too.
Right. But yeah, so sorry. So you were saying how you've dated a lot of guys. Let's talk about that. When's the last time you had a boyfriend? Like someone that, or have you, I don't know, how far have you been in a relationship?
So I was engaged.
You were engaged?
I was engaged.
Okay.
Yeah. I was engaged for 2 years. Last time I had a boyfriend was about 3 years ago.
Okay.
We were together for 7 years.
Is that boyfriend the one, your fiance?
Yeah.
The one okay. So you guys were together for 7 years
7 years.
and you guys were engaged at some point.
Yeah.
But not
It didn't work out. I think towards the tail end, he realized that he couldn't get married.
that he couldn't get married?
Yeah, or
he didn't want to?
believe in marriage. He told me that early on too, and I figured that our
But he
relationship.
proposed?
He proposed, yeah.
Okay.
No, that's
Interesting.
expensive mistake to make,
Well,
right?
how was that? Okay, what was the proposal like?
The proposal was, I mean, it's not like, it's over dinner.
Okay.
And so I'll just tell you like what happened.
Okay. Let's hear it.
A year maybe into us dating, he told me that he didn't believe in marriage. So I was just like, okay, cool. It'll just be a really good relationship that I will treasure for the rest of my life. And, fun fact, it happened that way actually.
Okay.
Towards the tail end.
Okay.
And so I want to say maybe like 3 years into the relationship, I got a job that would require me to move to North Carolina to work for Krispy Kreme.
Okay. All right.
And so I thought this was going to be it. I also want to start settling down, get married eventually.
Sure.
He doesn't want to get married, so the heck am I going to do, And so I tried to break it off with him a few times, and he just kept saying, wait. And 2 weeks before I moved, like literally mover scheduled, apartment lease signed, accepted, job offer.
Yeah.
He proposed, and I was
Oh.
like, oh,
So it's like third year in?
yeah.
Okay.
Like he changed his mind.
Okay.
Great. And so I moved to North Carolina, did my 2-year contract, 2.5 years, moved back, quit my job, got a new job, moved with him to San Diego.
Did he move to North Carolina with you?
He didn't.
Long distance? So
Long
you guys, okay,
distance.
wow.
Yeah.
So he proposed, you moved, he didn't move with you,
Yeah.
did a long distance thing for a couple of years, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And then moved back, and then you moved to San Diego.
Yeah. And I knew I wasn't going to stay in North Carolina.
Okay.
I knew this was a job that I was going to take for now so that I can set myself up for the future.
Okay.
I knew that it was going to open up a lot of doors for
Sure.
me. And so if it happens to be 2 years of living apart, so be it, to work towards our future. And so moved back. We were living together for about a year
In San Diego.
in San Diego. One day he sat me down on a couch and said, I don't think I can get married. And I said,
Did you guys have plans and like already booked?
I was starting to.
Okay.
And so I think things were just kind of hitting him. And he's like, oh shit, like it's real. I'm like, I have to get married.
Yeah.
And I think that he was really confronted by that. When we moved in together in a minute, I started planning.
So when you moved in together, that was the first time living together?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
Still a rule of thumb. I mean, I don't want to live with anybody
sure.
unless,
Yeah.
we're planning our life together.
Sure. And you were
Yeah.
well on your way, so why not?
Yeah.
So one day he was just like, this is not.
Can't do it.
And so after that, like you move out, he moves out.
Yeah. I would like, it's weird because everything seemed like it was just a dream. Like I remember I got up from the couch, went in my room, and I started looking at apartments in LA.
Yeah.
30 days later, I moved
Yeah.
out.
Wow.
I was just like,
And he kept living there, or what was the deal with that? You guys got rid of the place?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or I don't know if so like I broke off of the lease.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I think
okay.
he stayed there for a short while.
Gotcha.
The last time I saw him literally was when I gave him the keys. That was like 3
That
years
was it.
ago. That was it.
And never heard from him again. That was it.
I don't even know if he's still alive.
Crazy. That's nuts. No way.
I don't know.
Wow.
I hope he's okay.
No, I'm sure he's fine.
Think about him sometimes, but yeah.
That's crazy. And then so
Yeah.
you moved out to LA. What'd you do with your job? Or was it a remote?
It was remote,
Oh, okay.
luckily. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I also ended up leaving because I mean I took that job for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Oh, gotcha.
I wanted nothing to do with that job after.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you came to Raising Cane's.
And I came to Raising Cane's.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Are there perks to working at Raising Cane's? Like, do you get some type of, I don't know, some certain, not benefits like health insurance or whatever, but like, I don't know, you can go to Raising Cane's and get fed for free or something?
I don't think they give discounts, but like they do like have like a $75 like voucher every 6 months where you can like
Oh,
buy
really?
like swag, and I think that's like the best part about my job. The culture
And you can
is
buy
amazing.
Raising Cane's swag?
Yeah,
They have
like uniform, whatever you name it. And
wait,
so,
uniform for like,
well, I mean, like the uniforms are kind of cool. So
like to when you're working there, like
Yeah.
cooking the chicken?
yeah,
Do they have like regular sweaters and stuff?
yeah.
Oh, really?
Cool. I'll hook you up this Christmas.
Oh yeah, let's
Yeah.
go. I didn't even know Raising Cane's had apparel like that.
Yeah, they
Oh.
do. Oh, they have really cool apparel. Like if
really?
you look now, yeah, it's a plug. Like my company should pay me for this.
That's crazy. Kind of how like
Yeah.
how In-N-Out sells like different T-shirts every few months, like depending on the
Yeah.
season. Oh,
But they're actually really cool. Like they're like and that's because like our customer base are the people who know how to use TikTok or know what TikTok is. It's a fairly young brand.
okay.
And so our swag reflects that. Like I love our swag.
Do you like Raising Cane's?
I love Raising
Oh, you
Cane's.
do. Okay.
I mean, I can't eat chicken every week, maybe every other month because it's, like I want to live a little bit longer. But the company is amazing.
You like the Texas toast that comes with it?
Love the Texas toast.
fire.
I could drink the sauce all day.
Raising. It's crazy. You guys
Yeah.
sell it in like a tub.
We sell it
And
in
then there's
like
these,
a cup.
Yeah, and there's these TikTokers that like pour it on.
Yeah.
They like just junk their. Oh, it's crazy.
What's crazy too is that like I worked at Cane's for 2 weeks. Could not make the sauce. Like only managers can make the sauce.
Oh, that sauce is
Secret.
made in house.
Made in house. Yeah.
Really?
Only managers can make it.
Oh, is that why it's packaged in the plastic cups? And it's not like
yeah.
it's not made
Like,
in a
it's
factory. It's in a
No. It's like you have to mix it in like a tub. And part of my job when I was there was just like kind of like pumping it into those little cups.
And so the managers have and it's not like a powder that they mix with water or mayo or whatever.
I'm sure it's like a mixture of like the seasoning plus like whatever it is
Yeah.
that goes with it.
Yeah.
It's not a full like, outlines like recipe,
Oh, no way.
but only managers can make it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't either until I worked there.
Now I kind of want to go to Raising Cane's.
Yeah.
I will say the last time I went to Raising Cane's, it was a Northridge location. It was kind of, maybe it was they were too busy or something, but the chicken was cold and the fries were soggy. And,
Oh no.
Yeah. And typically I've had good.
Cut this part out of it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, because I've had really good luck. The one I typically go to anytime I go to Raising Cane's is the location in Lakewood, and that one's always busy. But since the one in Northridge opened up, I've been there a couple of times, and the last time that I went, I was like, what the fuck is this? This shit looks like it looked like someone's to-go order that had been sitting there for 45 minutes. And I opened it up and like, yeah, everything was kind of stale and whatever. And I was kind of like, did I get someone's old order? Like, why is it like this? It's cold as fuck, you know?
That's a bummer because everything is like, nothing is frozen.
Oh, really?
So like if it's cold, I don't know. I mean, I can't.
Well, I mean,
speak
obviously
for them,
they
but,
probably
like,
made it, and maybe
yeah.
there was like a big batch, and I got something old. I mean,
Maybe.
it was probably just a bad. I didn't
Yeah.
know, but there's nothing frozen, huh? It's not like
Nothing
bags
frozen.
of chicken strips.
Nope. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like, and then so they train you that like you need to clear the chicken from like the warmer. Mm-hmm. And so as soon as customers walk in, they'll yell like 3 people are in, and then they'll just start dropping chicken.
because they know that's their only thing they sell
exactly.
anyways.
Yeah.
Kind of like In-N-Out.
Yeah.
That's why I think In-N-Out the drive-throughs are so long, but they move pretty quick because that's
do.
all they sell, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like less than 3 minutes. But
Yeah.
that's what Cane's fashions itself, and is we're like the in and out of chicken. Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
how we see ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Chick-fil-A. I want to say, how do you like the Chick-fil-A sauce? You like the
Chick-fil-A sauce is okay.
Are you allowed, you're paid to say that, right? You're not allowed to like Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is okay. I think there are other products.
Like what?
Dave's Hot Chicken, I will say, big fan. Love Dave's Hot
You
Chicken.
like Dave's Hot Chicken?
So compared to Raising Cane's, Dave's Hot Chicken, Chick-fil-A, I'd say like Chick-fil-A is like distant third.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
What
You've had
what
Dave's Hot Chicken, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
What heat level do you like Dave's Hot Chicken? Because they have like 6 or 7.
I can take mild, but I have to say, like, I love Chick-fil-A sauce. Now you've got Chick-fil-A in my mind. I love Raising Cane sauce, but like the Dave's Hot Chicken sauce, love that.
Interesting.
But Raising Cane's is still better than Dave's Hot Chicken. I have to say.
You're paid to say that. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, cool. Before I get you out of here, I always ask this question to all of my guests. If you had to give your 15-year-old self a piece of advice, what would it be?
Great question.
Thank you.
Great question. Don't know how to answer, so let me go ahead and drink my
Drink your Starbucks.
to
Drink
process.
your Starbucks. Mm-hmm.
to process
Oh, it's
and
the
figure
holiday
out
season.
how to
It's got
answer.
the holiday cups going.
I would say to the 15-year-old me, in my younger years, I made so many mistakes. I would say make the same mistakes and then more. Because by the time you've gotten all that out of your system, you'll have learned how to move through life in a way that's smarter and more experienced. And that is such a great gift to have later down the line.
Basically, all of your trials and tribulations in your 20s have now molded you into who you are in your 30s.
Yeah.
And you're just a better person. You've learned from your mistakes. And now you are who you are.
Yeah, because when you make mistakes when you're younger, like so many people like guide 20-year-olds or even younger people and say, don't make mistakes or do this or do that. But like I'd say make all the mistakes when you're young because
Right.
you risk so little.
Right.
People expect so little out of
Yeah.
you and you don't have as much responsibility. So those mistakes don't cost as much as when you're in your 30s or 40s
Yeah.
and there's so much
That's
to
true.
risk.
Yeah, you're
So-
like your kid, 20 years old, you're a shitheaded kid. It's like whatever. Like it's not whatever, but
Yeah.
people kind of don't put as much weight to it. It's kind of like, you're like a child, right? Because like if a child touches a hot stove, they won't touch it again. They made that mistake. They won't touch it again. 'Cause
Absolutely.
it was hot as shit the first time they touched it.
Versus like you work through your career and like you built it up so much, you make a mistake, you can feel it and there's more impact. And it kind of will maybe cause you a lot more
Yeah.
than when you made that mistake in your 20s.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's good advice, I
Yeah.
think.
You think?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming in. Before I let you go, if you want to go ahead and plug and promote maybe your Instagram, so all the dudes that know that you're single now can hit you up and you can go on all the dates that you want. Go ahead. There's your camera right here.
So my Instagram is for people who know my number. So if you don't know my number, chances are you don't know my Instagram.
Well, you already gave the handle at the beginning of the
I
thing,
know.
so it's Myra's finally got an Instagram.
Myra's finally on Instagram.
On Instagram. Okay.
Good luck being saved. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Perfect. Well, thanks again, guys, for watching another episode. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the All Luck No Skill podcast. All Luck No Skill is produced and edited by VBG Solutions. Logo design and illustration by Mirage Native. Theme song is Let's Ride by White Hot. You can watch video episodes of All Luck No Skill at youtube.com/junkiepoo. Pretzel.